Sanket, it's a pleasure to welcome you to this conversation with Media for Growth. We're going to have this conversation on digital out-of-home solutions. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Rajiv. I'm really excited to join here, and I look forward to having some exciting conversation and throw some light on this emerging digital OOH space.
Wonderful. So, Sanket, India has been for the last couple of years arguably one of the most promising digital out-of-home markets. There's been rapid acceleration of digitalization of OOH in the last 2 to 3 years. So tell me, how excited are you about the DOOH prospects in India, and how best is Xtreme Media geared to tap into this opportunity?
Oh, wow, a great question. I think I'm really excited with a kind of revolution that is actually unfolding in OOH space. We've been talking about at OSC also about digital OOH for I think many years. I feel now we are at the cusp of time where the revolution is actually starting off, and we will actually see a lot faster adoption of digital OOH as a medium. It started actually with, if you know, in tier 1 cities, where like Ahmedabad, Lucknow, Bhopal, and metros like Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, and all these different other metros were late entrant to this bandwagon because of the regulatory issues primarily in these metros. And I see now slowly the regulatory mindset changing, the environment becoming more friendly, and this allows a larger adoption of this medium in metros. And so what happened in tier 1, because of the ticket size and of the ad slots, the LED displays tend to be smaller, and that you don't get this wow factor that you get in Times Square or Piccadilly, or where there are huge format displays. And this is because more commercial, because the investment is very high. So you need to be able to command that premium of per slot. The revenue needs to be high enough to justify the investment. But now with metros giving the permission, you would see a lot bigger displays, innovative displays coming into the market, and this will actually be the time when the traditional media owners will jump onto this bandwagon. I think as Xtreme Media, we are quite geared up, we are quite excited. We've been in LED display manufacturing, as you know, for more than 20 years. We started with single color monochrome ticker boards, indicator panels, and today we have more than 750 active LED installations, video wall installations, which is largest in India. We have more than 350 outdoor installations. So, there is a track record, experience of having done this kind of supplied the product, learned from Indian conditions, because Indian conditions are very unique from anywhere else in the world. So our product have taken those learnings of our experience of having installed for so many years. Also, we have a installation team and support team, which is 55 people on ground, because at the end of the day, this is a technology which is in the outdoor, which is it has to cater to Indian conditions, as well as the weather conditions of high temperature, rains, humidity, dust, all of that. So you need the on ground support team to ensure the uptime. Because I always say that we are not in business of selling product. We are in business of selling uptime. We are in business of creating wow factor. And product and software and hardware are just some of the things we, by the way, do to ensure the uptime and wow factor. So yeah.
Absolutely, Sanket. I think the wow factor is very key to DOH success. You mentioned about the particular steps that you're taking to deliver something that is ideal for Indian conditions. At the same time, if you look at the DOH space worldwide, be it in terms of hardware, software solutions, in terms of the content management solutions. Technologies are evolving at a fantastic speed. So how is
Right.
Xtreme Media really coping with this kind of competition that is really there all the time?
Right. Interesting question. So I would like to categorize the competition. I mean, let's not call them competition. I would like to call them operators in the current market into three brackets, right? There are three clear, distinguished brackets, and if I tell you, it will become even more clearer. But sometimes we don't see them as different people, but they are very different categories of company with different intent. So there is one category of companies and people who operate are importers or traders. You would get a very good value product at a very competitive price points, but their value addition is very minimal in India, and they operate with the primary intent to maximize the profit for themselves. Let's be clear, we all are here for profits, but there is no mindset of creating a brand or quality or value addition in the real sense. So there are these category of people who are importers or traders that I would like to call them. They are a very dangerous set of people because they would flip or give a different product to different clients every single time based on the cheapest quote they got from their manufacturer, right? So I mean, those are very dangerous because you can be the scapegoat and they're experimenting sometimes at your expense because that product may not be proven on the field. So that is one category. The second category is there are factories, primarily Chinese factories, who are now getting represented in India more and more. And there are some great factories, big factories, and there are some mid category and there are small factories. So as a buyer, you need to be careful the size and the scale of the factory that you are dealing with. And the intent of the factory is to keep their production line running. Okay, a factory primarily does not normally represent a quality benchmark. A brand will represent a quality benchmark. A factory would produce a product of all different qualities, all different price points, all different specifications based on the customer needs. So the same factory would produce a product which may cater to the US market, and the same factory would also have a product which is a substandard product, maybe for price conscious market. And we, in India, being a very price conscious market, for most of the factories that have been represented in India are pushing the price conscious product in Indian market, which may not be the ideal scenario for OOH market, because this is a revenue generating asset for the asset owner. If the display is down, or if the colors are not right, or if it's faded, or if it's not bright enough, the asset value itself may be hampered. So you do not want to compromise on the quality of the display, because that is a revenue generating display asset for you. So that is the second category. And the third category of people, like the established brands like Xtreme Media, Christie, LG, Samsung, who have a specific quality benchmark. You will see their products being listed on the website with the specifications, and we are all catering to some segment of the market. We look at what is the problem statement of our customers and try to create a product that solves that problem statement. So for OOH market, we've created a product which is specifically designed for Indian for 18 hours of operations, because I understand 16 to 18 hours is what a display would typically run in India, and the contracts are between 5 to 10 years. So we've designed the product which will last that duration. We launched a product. Our product comes with standard 7 years warranty, so that you don't need to revamp or buy a same product again during the tenure of your contract. Also, we put in the software inbuilt. We put the software inside the display so that you don't need separate hardware to control the display. And all of these different innovations we made so that we cater to the problem statement of OOH, which is the uptime, which is the wow factor. So you need the right brightness, 5500 nits over 7 years, because Rajiv, every display would look great on day one, but
Right.
how it looks at the end of 3 years is actually what really matters, because you on day one everything looks bright, good, but at the end of the 3 year, you will have this decay and then things start to fade out. So, keeping that in mind, we've designed a product and we are offering to our customers in India.
Extremely interesting, Sanket. I think you've made a very important point about the durability of assets, especially important in the current context when media owners are actually picking up long tenured contracts that go anything from
Absolutely.
5 to 15 years, right? So
Right.
one of the concerns that perhaps many of them have expressed is that how often would they have to be reinvesting in the assets in order to be able to
Absolutely.
the DOH assets. Very interesting. So you're manufacturing and you're delivering high quality DOH solutions. That said, what are you doing in terms of creating a market in India? It's still a high potential market. It has not really become a big one yet. So are there any particular initiatives that Xtreme Media is taking in terms of that market creation? And also, any kind of advocacy that you're doing by which perhaps the advertising norms themselves will become a lot more friendlier to DOH?
Yes, so we are really excited in this journey with that about with digitization of OOH, and I think we want to contribute positively in the growth. I think we are at the nascent stage where it actually needs a lot of nurturing, and one of the things that we do actively here is the educating part of the whole thing, because a lot of asset owners come with many questions on, what should be the specifications of the product, what should be the brightness, the contrast, the IP rating, how will I control my display, how will I push the content, how will I get the reports of proof of play. And there is a new wave of 3D content or anamorphic content. How do I support that on my? Is it future proof? What is the life? What is the investment? So there are many questions. As you are embarking on this journey, Rajiv. So we are educating, hand holding them as a doctor, as a consultant. You make the right choices, and in that choices, if we fit in, great. If not, at least we'll grow the market together. And also, we are also trying to educate them on what type of content to play, because sometimes it can be very distracting for the driver or the people on the road if the content is very jarring or very on your eye, and that may give a bad name to the entire media. If one bad incident on the road may hamper the entire industry. So,
Absolutely.
we are very aware of that, and we are educating on that front, that your content needs to be more on the dark tones, less with white background. Your brightness needs to be adaptive. You cannot have a static brightness throughout the day, because a brightness at 5000 nits in the daytime is okay. 3000 nits brightness in the daytime would be dull. At 1 o'clock, you need 5000 brightness, because otherwise you will not just see the content. It will be very faded. And but the same 5000 nits brightness in the night is very jarring, right? So we have created a software feature where you can adaptively change the brightness through the software and set it for the throughout the day. And it's not through sensors. There are also sensors, hardware sensors, but they typically do not work, because what happens is, in India we have a lot of dust, so the sensors get blocked with the dust or bird excreta, and then they stop working. And it's very difficult to go every day and clean those sensors. So we've Indianized our hardware and software. You know what I mean? It's like the software is meant for dusty condition. Our hardware also, we made it rodent proof. We have a biggest problem of rodents and cockroaches. You may be surprised. So they go inside your display and they eat up all your wires. So, so we kind of done that in our product, and we're educating our customers to take some preventive actions at the time of investment, so that their investment they go give them the benefit that they intended it to give. Um, so yeah, I mean these kind of initiatives we are taking with the asset owners and also with the authorities in terms of working with them on standardizing some of the laws which are currently little gray in some of the cities, which actually prevents large investments.
Right, Sanket. So, are you also looking at global markets? Because you have, targeted the India market very well. But with all of the solutions that you have, you see prospects in the global markets.
Global markets are exciting, but currently I think we have our hands full with India. So our current focus for this year is absolutely, I would not say we would never look at it. We have done installation in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, in South Africa, so in Europe as well. But those are installations where our Indian clients have taken us there, rather than we going there. And because every country would need its own focus strategy, focused product, because this product that we have currently is made for India, for Indian conditions, at Indian price points, at Indian quality standards, at Indian conditions and everything. So if I have to go to Europe, I have to create a separate segment of product, partners, ecosystem, marketing and sales strategy. So it's a very evolved decision. So I currently feel that India, we have enough growth opportunities. So let's focus here for next couple of years.
Absolutely great to hear that, Sanket. For some time we've been talking about, is this the time for spectacular media in India? Are we going to see iconic DOH sites like Piccadilly Circus, or those that you get to see at Times Square and all of that? So should those things come about in India, how well is Xtreme Media geared to be having a very strong presence there?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a matter of time, I would feel. This is bound to happen because technologically we are completely geared up. May it be anamorphic content, 3D content, curved sizes, building facade cladding, or a floating LED. We just installed a couple of them, a floating LED in the sea. So it could be any innovative. So LED is like a canvas. It's up to the painter to imagine the drawing and put the colors. So if you imagine a concept, give it to us and we would be happy to work with you. We have our internal engineering team both on the hardware side and on the software side. So I'm a computer science graduate, and I had the software technology team. And my partner, Sarjan Satra, he is the IIT Bombay electrical engineer, and he heads the electrical side of the piece. So we have good minds to put your thought or imagination into a product, and we are happy to do that. You may have all the expertise, but some companies don't want to do a lot of customization and stick to standard product. We like to stick to our standard product for most of our projects, but for it, what gives us a little bit of extra kick and excitement is something new. What next? And we are always ready to work with you to create that next big wow thing.
Super.
So yeah, and also Raju, sorry, I just one more slide. So and also for Piccadilly or Times Square, the investment is a very very big in piece. So there are three things in Piccadilly or Times Square. One is the permission part, obviously, which I think it's getting in place. Second is the technology piece, which I think we are more than catered. And third is the financial, because there's a huge capital investment that goes at the upfront, and we are solving that as well. We've tied up with NBFCs, banks, some investors also, where we give three models to our asset owners or prospective buyers: upfront buying, a lease model, and a partnership model. So, if that is finance is the constraint, that also we try and overcome through our partnership. So, yeah, if you
Excellent.
have a more,
Great options
yeah,
really for investments to happen also in the area of spectacular media and iconic sites. Uh,
right.
are all the technologies and solutions entirely indigenously developed, or do you have any global partnerships there?
Um, So our designs remain completely indigenous. So all the PCB design, the mold, the cabinet molds get designed here. Um, our software development is completely in India. Assembling is in India. We have global partnerships with our SMT lines in various countries where we manufacture modules primarily in China. We have partnered with a market leader in lamps. So lamp is one of the most important component of a display. So we have a direct partnership with Nation Star. So all our displays are Nation Star powered, or we use Nation Star as a standard lamp across our displays, whether it's indoor, outdoor, fine pitch. So we have a partner. So we have component level relationships with the manufacturers, and yeah, everything else, design and assembling and software is indigenous in India.
Absolutely fantastic to know that, Sanket. Finally, you have a brand association with the upcoming outdoor advertising convention in Mumbai on the 17th and 18th of August. So, what has inspired you to be a partner to the OAC, and what are your expectations from this event?
Oh, OAC is a great platform. I look forward. I every year look forward to attending it because it brings all the people together. Maybe you could be from the agency side, you could be asset owner, or you could be vendors and technology providers like ourselves. They all come on a single platform, share ideas, talk about what are the trends, talk about what are the problem areas and how we can work together to overcome these some of the problems so that we can grow the industry as in totality, and which is everybody's interest at the end of the day. We may compete on day-to-day basis, but we are all good friends at the end of the day. We always like to share a cup of tea or a beer over a nice conversation. So with OAC, I like to, my expectation, as you asked Rajiv, would be to talk to many people to see what are their pain points, what are the problems that they're facing, and if I could contribute in their solving some of these problems through educating them or through helping them connect with some of my network people whom I know, so that those roadblocks can be cleared up, and see how we can grow this exciting industry.
Absolutely. OAC is indeed a good platform for partnership building, and I'm absolutely certain that you'll come across some wonderful people with whom you'd want to establish those partnerships, Sanket. I look forward to meeting you there. This is a convention that's happening in person after almost 3 years. So we are all very
Absolutely.
excited.
I missed it for 3 years actually. I was quite looking forward to it. And we're participating in a big way this year. So I look forward to really meeting old friends.
Thank you so much, Sanket, for your time and for your observations. We value them immensely, and we look forward to seeing you at OAC. Thank you so much.
Anytime, Raju. Thank you so much.